It goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 800, and God knows what episodes we've been talking about professionalized wrestling on Tuesdays here. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter, and Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a great crew. 811 Tuesdays this week, by the way, that we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. We got a very special one with you tonight. First of all, the Mad Mike is out on assignment. That assignment is going out to Weird Al with his lady. I mean, hot date. I mean, who doesn't love some Weird Al around here? I hope he has some fun with that, and we'll have him back here next week. If you missed it last night on the Monday Mayhem Warriors, we talked about my trip out for Warrior Wrestling, his experience with Impact Wrestling, and seeing the inspiration in person. So please go check out last night's episode in your feeds for all of that. But we got a hell of a crew with us here tonight. First of all, we'll go in order of seniority. First of all, from Riz Plays Games and RJ City and Dalton Castle's favorite interviewer, the Riz.
You had to bring that up again.
Well, they've both been on like AEW since we had you on last, so I had to bring it up.
They have, and it's very, very concerning seeing like that happen, and me looking at that and looking at them and going, I interviewed both of those,
and Pete Dunne,
both of them, and Butch.
Yes, and Butch.
And I didn't really.
Where's Butch? Riz knew before all of us. You know, every time I watch Hey EW with RJ City, it feels like he's trying to be you in that interview you did with him.
Doesn't it?
It really feels like it. He's like, is he channeling? We gotta call him out on Twitter. I'd be like, listen, are you channeling the Riz when you do these interviews with Britt Baker? Is that what's happening right now? So
no, he's asking a lot more questions though.
Well, yes, but I think the idea, and you put your spin on it. He is a professional entertainer, sports entertainer, if you will, right? So I mean, which we heard
he's
a lot
baby
of.
Face.
He is a baby face now. It was a long time coming, so I'm glad to see him do the turn, doing very well with it. Also with us, speaking of
Speaking of baby faces,
the baby face Ronnie Starks himself joining us.
When have I ever been a baby face?
I don't think you were ever a baby face. I don't think you were a baby face when you were the damn referee.
No, you're like, speaking of baby face, that was a horrible segue.
No, that
I'm not a baby
face.
face.
You deserve that.
This is your baby face turn. You're well renowned and respected on an international podcast.
I mean, that is true.
And you just got called babyface by an interviewer that interviewed the stars, like Dalton Castle, RJ City,
Pete Dunne.
all of those. Pete Dunne.
Guess I'm a baby face now.
Shane Taylor. Yes.
Shane Taylor.
No, Shane Taylor was just there. Like I didn't get to interview him at all. He was just there.
He just appeared while Shane Taylor appears.
It's like a Pokemon, just a wild Shane Taylor appears.
Yes. We do have a special guest with us tonight. You guys are special too, but he's the specialist of guests
Oh,
today.
thanks.
Okay, so yeah. I've worked with him over at Work Hard Pittsburgh over the years, but he is with us with his new project, Blam Wrestling. That's now doing its Indigogo. We're going to talk about what Blam Wrestling is. I'm very excited. He's the director and co-creator of this project, Jay White. Don't call him Switchblade with us right now. Jay, thank you for coming on and helping us with our wrestling SEO.
I appreciate you guys for bringing me on.
So, but we'll be talking about a lot of stuff with you. I know you went to the AEW show here in Pittsburgh. So most of us did, saw the show. So looking forward to get into it. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
All right. So, anyways, let's do some business before we do get in that discussion. First, if you are a first-timer for any reason here, please check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com and can hit us up that email address.
Good times.
Good times at
Good time.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com. 412.
I was muted.
It's
I was muted,
okay.
sorry.
Were you muted?
It's the Zoom
was.
delay. We'll just blame the Zoom delay.
I know.
412-206-WMS0 is the hotline at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, and of course Wrestling Mayhem Show's Facebook group, Discord, and Reddit, where a lot of the great discussions are happening, especially on the Facebook group. And of course we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the Sorgatron Media Twitch, as well as the IndyWrestling.us YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. However you'd like to consume us, whatever you're subscribed to, if you want to get in on the conversation. I do have about 5 screens in front of me with all of the chat rooms. So if you have something to say, we are probably going to be able to get it in front of us. So just like Tina Keys out there in Seattle, I'll be seeing your neck of the woods this Saturday weekend, I guess, for Defy Wrestling, and I see partners out there with the iPhoneography podcast, which I usually don't plug on this show, but he was just on AwesomeCast, so I'm just in that vibe right now. So, and also, what's my next thing? There he goes. Oh, please subscribe to subscribe to the podcast and everything like that, and of course, thank you to everybody that supports us at Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, including our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity. Woo! As well as Ed Burke and Team Hammerfist. Some great discussions happening with Team Hammerfist. We have a special guest coming up next month. I want to give him a shout out because he connected us with Shaza Boatwright, I think is the name. She's going to be part of the Showabunga show. So, I got a description of her, and I was like, perfect for our show. So we'll get into that in the next coming weeks. That's coming up. I think May 10th might be the date, if I'm not mistaken. Poppy Club, thank you to Dave Potter, Bobby F. J. Town at the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, and the Riz. Doc Remedy, I got the hug at the AEW show this past week. And Mrs. Remedy as well. Manager, thank you to friends at the manager level, Bradley, and the Mother of Dragons, Tina Keys. You guys can support the show too, get some exclusive content, and just keep the wheels running here, the servers rolling at the Wrestling Mayhem Show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. So, yeah, like I said, most of us, viewed or attended here in Pittsburgh, and I got to say, this is the I'm going to call it third time for a show because we didn't we have a double AEW the one week with Dynamite and the Rampage premiere, right?
Right.
So technically this is the 4th show that they've had here. But 3rd visit for AEW, it seems, right? So, well, first of all, impressions. First of all, Jay, you are not an avid AEW watcher, right? I'm really curious, first of all, about your experience with this.
Well, that was my first time. I didn't know too much about AEW, and I started Googling. Since I've been back heavy into wrestling, I've been learning a lot about the new wrestler and the new wrestlers. I'm an old school wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
So like my last diehard era of wrestling was like Stone Cold and The Rock. So like after that, as I got older, I didn't watch wrestling that much until I came up with this idea of Blam, and I'm like all in from the business side to learning who's the wrestlers, just the ins and outs of everything in wrestling. And I recently got some tickets to go to this AEW match. I said, I want to go check it out and just see what it's about. I see some people on social media trashing it, and then I see some people, loving it, showing it a lot of love. But, I love wrestling, so I'm going to go check it out. And it was pretty good. Some of the matches went real fast in the beginning, and some of the guys, some of the matches was greater than others. But the match that stood out the most to me was the one that involved Sting. And I can't think of the other guy's name. He rode the skateboard. He was kind of like more like a cool guy.
Darby Allin,
Darby Allin.
Yeah. That was So that match was like the match that stuck out the most to me because they were in the crowd fighting. Sting ended up jumping off this podium, like in the balcony. Like it was great because it gave me the feel of old school wrestling. It wasn't just like in the ring, technique, okay, boom, I pin you and it's over. They got the crowd involved, they were going through the crowd, fighting, punching, it just gave me that feel. And we're watching it on the Jumbotron, and I'm trying to look down and see where they're at. And it was just great. It was a great feeling being there at that match. And I had took one of my Blam Wrestling belts in there. So a lot of people were looking at me like, what are those belts? It was attracting a lot of attention from a lot of people. But it was great just being in that atmosphere and just seeing, a functioning wrestling league. And there was a lot of people there, like some people might say, oh, AEW this or AEW, but it was packed. And, Pittsburgh's a wrestling town. So people from Pittsburgh show out when it comes to wrestling.
Absolutely. Here's a shot of those wrestling belts in question too. Were you double holding the belts like that, or you just went in with one?
I had one. My business partner, my co-director of the film, he was with me, and he was just recently in a car crash, and he wasn't able to. We was going to take both belts in there, but he was like, "Man, I can't carry this belt the whole time." Yeah, and Virgil just posted that picture. He called me Allen Iverson. Yeah. If you read the caption. So I met Virgil at this match. That's hilarious.
Listen,
I met him for the first time, and then I posted a picture like last week. Then he posted it today, and he said I was Allen Iverson on his Instagram. So I reposted it, and all my social media friends are making all these different jokes about it. Mm-hmm. And somebody on his Instagram was like, "Well, who's that? Is that the Allen Iverson you order from Wish.com? Because that's not Allen Iverson." But people's joking on me. I'm all for the jokes, man. I don't take stuff personal or get mad. So it was just fun. I ended up meeting Virgil, posting a picture. Then today he reposts it and says I'm Allen Iverson. He tagged Allen Iverson's name.
Tagged him in the post. Oh my God!
Look, everyone here, I think now everyone on this podcast now has their own Virgil story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody in Pittsburgh, perfect. I think, has at this point. So, yeah. Between Riz getting an unsolicited call from Virgil, I have shot a music video and an entire DVD at his apartment.
Sorg also stuck me next to him during an entire weekend. During Comic-Con.
That's how that happened.
And I had to hold Virgil's payday.
So I saw. I heard and saw that he was hanging out there. So that was that's Virgil. That's Virgil for you. Yeah. So
and they were coming up to him, all the fans, Virgil. So like one thing I love about wrestling, like even though some guys might be older and they might not be wrestling, the fans still love you in wrestling. That's one thing. Like other sports, they're like, oh, that's such and such, get him out of here. But a lot of people were still coming up to him, showing him a lot of love, and I appreciated that.
Because I mean, wrestling, I feel like I mean, we often talk about I'm still appreciate the wrestlers that inspired me growing up, even though you find out the real person and maybe the Ultimate Warrior is not a great person, or something like that, right? But there is that. I mean, that's like your childhood, like the cartoon. Like if I met a Ninja Turtle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's the characters. It's the big. Yeah. They're big comic book characters on screen, especially that era that Virgil comes from, right? So I mean, that's just a different love than I think the I can't even name, I don't know, Ben Roethlisberger if you ran into him at the supermarket, I guess, you know, so, because there's something different. It's just that different vibe to it, right?
Yeah. Wrestling, back in, growing up, I'm 42. So growing up in the 80s, early 90s, the wrestlers were bigger than NFL and NBA. So Michael Jordan came, like Michael Jordan kind of changed the trajectory of it. Like Michael Jordan became like the biggest star. But like before that, the wrestlers were bigger than everybody, especially here in Pittsburgh. I can't speak for every city, but the wrestlers were bigger than they were the mega stars. You know, the Hulk Hogan's and Macho Mans and, all them guys, the Ric Flairs. And they were the stars, and we made our own wrestling belts, and we used to do our own little wrestling matches and, have little mattresses in the hood and wrestle on them, mattresses people threw out. And it was just a part of our culture so much growing up. And now by me doing this project of Blam, I'm bringing a lot of people back to that era, because a lot of, older guys like, oh, man, I was so much of a diehard wrestling fan. And I want people to feel that they're getting those childhood memories with Blam, the attitude era of wrestling.
Exactly. Though, yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to experience that in person with that too. I know it was fun. Seeing Sting, who I believe is in his early 60s at this point, jumping off balconies. I think I said to somebody, and you guys, I think I said to my wife, I'm like, Sting is really hitting that Terry Funk era of his career, isn't he? Because remember, Terry was the consummate like NWA guy, and then he started going to Japan and ECW in the 90s and just doing insane hardcore and jumping off of stuff, right? Which and not to discredit that, but it's just like that's like a phase, right? Like your Sting's not going to have a 60-minute Ric Flair Broadway from Clash of the Champions these days, but man, he's gonna jump off the top rope and have like 5 people catch him. You know what I mean? Like or go through or put somebody through a table or something like that. Like this.
Or he'll go through a table and stand right back up.
Yeah. No. By the way, Sting has earned the right to no sell every one of your moves. That's it. Completely stand up.
If you're that age and you're jumping off of high things like that, yeah, take a chair shot to the back or back of the head or anything like that. Go through a table and just pop right back up. It's fine. Absolutely,
and everything. And also Sting, I also love. You got to see this. This is a bit that I think he did in the late '90s with fighting the NWO. The Sting hiding as Sting in the crowd. The Sting Sting with the Sting mask in the crowd as the overactive fan.
Was so great.
Was a great callback. So.
Watching it live on TV, I was like, I'm looking at there, and I it didn't dawn on me until the mask came off. I'm like, he did the thing, and the Sting pulling off the mask being Sting is better than Sting falling from the rafters. Period.
It is. It really is. And the thing is, that guy. We were up in the stands behind where he was like before the matches they were coming out. He had a sign. He was jumping up and down in the aisleway, and we're like, this fan's going to get kicked out of here. And it turns out it was Sting the whole time. It's like a bad Scooby-Doo episode.
He would have gotten away with it too.
Yes, if it wasn't.
He did.
If it wasn't for that pesky, who were they fighting on that match?
It was Elito.
It's Andrade. Yeah.
Andrade.
It would have gone if it wasn't for that pesky AFHO. So, no, it was a fun show. And again, like 3 shows. The biggest thing, and I talked about it last night. I know Matt Carlins was really, really excited about with all the Japanese wrestlers on there. One guy from DDT that I will never pronounce his name right, because I watch New Japan. Suzuki, Ishii, none of them pre-announced for the show. Plus, like the New Japan announcement and the president of New Japan. Just the idea in my head that somewhere the president of New Japan and Tony Khan could be having a Permane Brothers sandwich in this town as a possibility, is kind of broke my brain a little bit that night. Jay, you got to experience a lot of those Japanese wrestlers that I know we've been loving and seen a lot of this year as they're kind of doing an American tour. Yeah. What was your impression of those guys coming over?
The one guy was dope. He was like real technical. I can't think of what his name was. I think he came out with like a mask on. But he was great. He was great, and the fans loved him. You know, the fans loved him. So I was feeling it. I liked all the matches. Only time I had one out, I went to the bathroom, and then when I got caught up talking to Virgil for like 30 minutes.
As will happen.
Yeah, he probably told
I missed a few
matches.
So I was out in the hallway. I missed a few matches. But other than that, man, you know, it was great, man. It was great seeing that, you know, that crowd and being there, and the fans still, you know, the fans are the fun. The fans in wrestling are the most classic people. They're like the best sports fans out of anything, because like wrestling fans are hilarious, man. There's this guy behind me. He reminded me of the guy from I can't think of his name, but he's always an asshole in every movie from Pineapple Express. He's a funny guy. He always wears like a mullet type shag.
Oh,
what's his name?
Kenny the guy who played Kenny Powers.
Yeah.
He's in a whole bunch of movies.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, it's him. So there was this guy that was behind us. He was him. Exactly. Like he was behind us, and me and my business partner, I was like, man, he's the dude from Pineapple Express. I can't think of his name. And I Googled him. He sounded like him. His hair was like his. I was like, man, he's like a stunt double with this guy. But he was like one of those type fans, was like, he needs to be in a movie as a fan. So it was like, you know, just interacting with the fans there and just people showing the love. So it was great, man. It was great. And then they end up doing something. Tony Khan came out and he said he was going to put the Pittsburgh fans in the video game.
Yes.
So he had everybody chant different wrestlers' names, and that was great too. So it was just a great experience.
I think we also learned. I think we were the first to learn the name of the video game that's going to be AEW's Fight Forever. Because like he's saying that, and I turned to Matt. I'm like, wait, have they announced this? You know, and they're like, no, I think we just got.
That's the first time.
I think we just got some information here. I was like, oh, okay. So because he works with the news site, so I'm like, well, if anybody knows, it's going to be him. So no, it was really exciting. Really exciting to be a part of that. And as always, I of course. Was next to Mason Maney himself, Mason Carlins. So I mean, watching with a kid or the kids around you is always. That's my favorite thing from going to these big wrestling shows, even like WWE. If it's like I'm not into what's going on in WWE, watching the kid lose their mind at Finn Balor coming out, you know, or whoever, or Riddle or anything like that, or dressed as John Cena, you know, that is always the fun thing for me. And that's why I love. I always say I want to borrow Carlin's kid to watch wrestling with from time to time to remember why the hell we're here. You know what I mean? So
yeah, wrestling like. This is what I say every time I watch and talk about WWE. It's not. I don't want to say it's not made for us, like the older wrestling fans, the older fans. It's like it's dedicated towards those kids.
Mm-hmm.
So and you have to make sure to go in there and going, oh, that's right. We can't like swear or flick people off
because we got to sell action figures.
Yeah, there's not going to be any more like even though the Attitude Era, and I do give it credit, was very instrumental in a lot of people's minds. It's still dedicated towards kids, and that's what sells.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and pretty much that's what is based off of. Now AEW, swinging back around. Yeah, that's going to be more towards us, like a little bit more askew towards us, but there's still that little. You can still see that they're marketing towards the younger generation.
It's for the adults and for the kids that the parents let them watch PG-13 movies.
Yeah, and it allows them to look at other fans flicking off a wrestler like
yes it's like we always talk about RWA is for the more like, you know, should I bring my 7-year-old to this? What do you want them exposed to, you know, because we know that the 7-year-olds are the ones flipping off the wrestlers half the time at that promotion, you know. So but the parent, you know, that's a parental decision. But that's fine. I mean, you know, you don't have the PTC coming after AEW or anything like that. They're not publicly held, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. And and what WWE does works very, very, very well for WWE.
Right.
So we would never discount that for what it is.
And before we get off on this AEW talk, can I just say I want Danhausen to win? I want him to win.
To beat Hook?
I want him to beat Hook. I don't know why. I just want him to beat Hook.
Oh, yeah, like a fluke win or something like that. I don't even know if there'll be a
just
match.
a win.
You know, at
Just
that
a
point.
win. I don't care. I just wanted to win.
Riz, I don't know if that's going to
I
happen.
doubt that's
I
going to
don't
happen.
think it's going to happen, but I
No.
want it to happen.
No, but we'll find if Hook can continue to spell magic. I guess. All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to get into the Blam
Double
Wrestling.
spell, Sorg.
Double spell? Is that it?
Mhm.
We're going to take a quick mention here, and we'll talk about Blam Wrestling with the great Jay White. And you guys can check out IndyWrestling.us, IndyWrestling.us network. A lot of great stuff going on over there. I am currently halfway through editing VCW's Sweet Victory, featuring Super Oprah and Madman Fulton. And Ronnie Starks is ringside with a camera.
Well, that doesn't matter.
And the Beast Man. I can't forget to say the real name of VCW, the Beast Man, and even greater than the Beast Man, RSW champion Zeke Mercer. So
Good job, Kevin Dunn.
there you go. Stop calling me Kevin Dunn. They named me Kevin Dunn in the chat, and I don't.
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, it's not Kevin Dunn. Actually, is the name in there, and I was like, please change it. Please change it. At least in the other wrestling chat, like everybody is Avengers names. So I don't know. I got a weird one over there too. They called me. I think they gave me Carol. I think I'm Miss Marvel in that for some reason, or Captain Marvel. But anyways, whatever. It's 2022. We can be fluid. In our chats. At IndyWrestling.us, the point is wrestling. The point is wrestling, and we have lots of it. Prospect Pro Wrestling's Forsaken is up there, as well as Rise Wrestling's Fear Itself is a part of that, and you can catch up on all of that, whether on VOD, DVD, IndyWrestling.network for $5.99 a month, which includes the Heaven and Hell, the Rev Ron Hunt versus Chris Taylor, epic 2-year rivalry and breakdown by the participants themselves. We just dropped the baptism episode, the baptism of Chris Taylor. I'm sure it went as good as every Sunday. But go check that out.
I think I was at that show.
I think you were at that show. That was the one where somebody's mother didn't get pile driven.
That's correct. Yeah.
You've seen some wild shit. Speaking of West Newton.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any wild shit yet.
You haven't seen any wild shit in West Newton? Oh, stick around. You
I'm
will.
waiting.
You will. I mean,
That's why I'm taking all the West Newton gigs.
You missed the November riot. You missed the Marshall Gambino police calls. You missed somebody's hair getting cut off with a sword while the cop was coming in from the previous thing. There's the it's.
See,
Go ahead.
the show that you booked me for Rise.
Yes.
Now something weird's gonna happen at RWA.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You did witness an attempted murder. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Ronnie, tell them what happened to Fear Itself. Brief version.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah. It was an attempted murder. Marshall literally got beat to death, and some lady was at ringside saying, "This isn't right. This happened 2 months in a row. This isn't right. Somebody call the police."
Wait, this happened at Rise or
Wait, a Rise?
No, RWA. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
that. I
All
no,
right.
I was talking about a Rise because I thought somebody put a bag over the guy's head or something.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
yeah.
Oh shit.
I did see that part.
Wait, were you not at that
Wait.
show? I don't think you were at
Wait,
that show.
Hold on. What happened?
I saw it on
Some big guy
I
came
saw
out.
fan cam.
Some big guy came out and put a bag over the Reaper's head or something.
And this was at last month's show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the past Rise show, the Fear Itself show.
Oh, I
which apparently
Which
Ronnie
you can
needs,
watch
which
on.
Ronnie needs to watch at IndyWrestling.us network, obviously.
I will.
So
I will do that.
you'll catch up that. Put that in the queue right after your Impact Wrestling pay-per-view from this past weekend.
will.
And look for the Mad Mike, and also look for Mad Mike in his colorful mask on the entrance ramp through most of the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view if you haven't had a chance to watch it, or just on the pre-show with the Iconics inspiration over on their YouTube page too. So go check all that stuff out. Support indie wrestling and find filming of indie wrestling too. But we're going to talk about this independent project Jay White has here for a moment. Jay, it's Blam Wrestling, and it's not necessarily a new wrestling league. It's more of a wrestling concept, correct?
It's a wrestling TV show.
Yes.
So it's a comedy. So it's a wrestling comedy TV show. We were going to make a movie at first. Well, how Blam was birthed. This was January 7th last year, 2021. I was in my office and I was just on YouTube and I was watching some old wrestling clips. It was Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. It was when they were the Mega Powers. And it was the interview with Mean Gene, and they were trying to shake hands. And Hulk Hogan kept saying if they shake hands, he feels like the world's going to blow up. Like the force was so strong they couldn't shake hands. And I just busted out laughing.
It was the earthquakes.
Like
it's the earthquakes and the rivers will rise and the mountains will crumble. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, he was just saying some crazy stuff, and it was just hilarious. And I was just like, man, and it came to me. I was like, man, I love these wrestlers so much. And I was like, me being from the black community and being a black person, I said, I never had a black Hulk Hogan. I never had a black Macho Man. And I was like, what would that look like, having a black Hulk Hogan told from a hood perspective in wrestling? So I was like, well, what if I could make something based on wrestling and make it funny? And that's kind of how I came up with the idea. And I just start thinking of characters and people I know on social media that's more comedic than more wrestlers, because I didn't know any real wrestlers here in the city at the time but Duke Davis. He was the only person that I knew. I didn't know any wrestlers here.
That's a good choice, by the way.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and I just was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to do a wrestling comedy about wrestling in the hood, but make it universal for everybody and make it a comedy. And I just start coming up with ideas and characters, and I called my business partner. Me and him had been working on movies for like the last 3 or 4 years. My business partner's name is Tale Stillwell. And me and him just been working on all different types of movies. And I called him. I said, I got an idea, a wrestling comedy movie. He was like, oh, let's do it. And then I went over his house and we just start coming up with ideas and characters. And we start creating these different characters. And we just start creating storylines. And then that's just basically how it was birthed. And now we're in the phase of shooting the pilot next month. So we're shooting a pilot episode next month in May 21st and 22nd. We're actually shooting all the wrestling scenes out in McKeesport at PWX Wrestling. So they opened the facility up to us to be able to utilize the facility. And we just created a whole wrestling league. And we got white wrestlers, a few Mexican wrestlers. I want to get a few Asian wrestlers. I was trying to find, a little person wrestler too. There's a league in Pigeon Forge. What is that? Kentucky? What is that? Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Yeah.
There's a league. I called down there too. I was trying to find some of the little smaller guys to have them a part of Blam. So I'm just trying to have everybody represented in Blam, so nobody could be like, wait, why don't you have this type of wrestler? So I just been trying to, reach out to wrestlers, and I want to do it in a more comedic type of way, because I watch, some stuff wrestling, even though, the characters are great, it's still funny to a certain extent. It's like wrestling has always been funny to us, but the characters have sold us. And I was like, I wanted to go back to that era of having the characters, not just some guy named like, oh yeah, I'm Bob Jones and I'll kick your ass. Like, you're not even going to be badass Bob Jones. You're just going to be Bob Jones. Like, so I based it more on the attitude era of creating these characters and having these gimmicks that they're selling. And I just started reaching out to a lot of wrestlers, and I start going to matches. And now it's, it's starting to grow legs, and it's like becoming a life of its own. And we haven't even filmed yet, and which is great, because I've been collaborating with podcasts like you guys and other shows, and just creating these partnerships with different businesses. I partnered with Trace Brewing, and we created a Blam beer. So they're creating a Blam beer for us. Just having all these intellectual properties with the film. What I mean? T-shirts for the different wrestlers, and I want to get into making the action figures, and just having all these different entities that go with this film to make it a success. But we're just shooting a pilot episode first, and we want to pitch it and get it out to the world. We want to try to, get it to the Netflix and the Hulus and all the different streaming services first before we just go and put it out on YouTube. So that's where we're at. We're filming next month. We have our Indigogo campaign going right now. It's been going pretty well for us. I only put 10,000 on there because I only had like a month to do it. I was like, I only got a month before we film, so I didn't want to put no outrageous number. I wish I would have did it like 6 months out. But it's doing pretty good. We're at like 55% money raised right now towards that $10,000 goal, and it's been going great. People been loving it, man. We got a lot of content videos up, and we're creating an animated series based on Blam. We're just creating these characters. We got the merch. We just have a lot of just different entities involved in Blam. So it's something that's going to be great for the city of Pittsburgh, and we look forward to go global. So if you know any wrestling characters, have them reach out to me. And moving forward, like when we make it into a TV series, it's a lot of opportunity for ringside announcers, backstage announcers. I want to be able to use multiple guys, not just having one guy use, in a series, you can just have multiple guys. And I want to take it back to we're going to take it back to the 80s era too for a few episodes. So it's a lot of opportunity moving forward once we're able to get the budget, or we're able to get, the backing behind it. It's just a lot of opportunity, and we'll be recasting stuff and adding characters, and it's endless. Wrestling is endless because there's so many different people you can add as characters, and we could just keep creating wrestling stories and backstories on people. So we just been doing as much as we can with it's basically two of us, but we've been having a lot of help from different people, but it's like two of us being the core of the creation of it. So,
and I think the biggest thing here is, like, you're somebody who knows how to put a film project together, knows how to put those elements together. Obviously doing a lot with the obviously you can see all over this Indiegogo the videos we've been playing if you're on the video version of the show, but I invite you to go over the Indiegogo and check those out. You already have some stuff in the can with our friends at the main event, Duke and Gannon over there. There's a lot of great marketing mind behind this. And you guys have the execution ability to do it and pull off something really cool. I'm loving the animation too that popped up on here, which we played a little bit of that while you're chatting about it too. That's really, really cool. And there's a lot of promos and things on there, so you can kind of get the vibe of what's going on there. So it's really fun. So this has been a long time coming. You're filming next week. Next month, I'm sorry. Obviously, seeing from the footage, you guys have been down there, you've been at the facility, you've been with, looks like you were like probably around the training class and stuff, right? As you're kind of, doing the pre-production here, learning about the, everything that goes into pro wrestling, what is the biggest thing that you've kind of that surprised you, discovered as you were kind of looking into the business of pro wrestling and the stuff these guys go through?
The technique of learning how to become a wrestler. Mm-hmm. It's way harder than people think. And when people say oh, wrestling's fake, it like pisses me off so much, because it's like it's only fake. We might know who might win the match, but the art of wrestling is not fake, because if you do one thing wrong, your neck might get broke, your leg might get broke.
Yep.
So it's a whole technique to it. And sending my guys out there, I had 4 actors going out there to learn, just the basics of wrestling, and them just being able to learn how to take bumps and how to fall right. And I'm like, this is a lot of shit you got to learn with wrestling. Just the average person you just see, it's just like anything. It's like me shooting a movie and this people think is, you see it done. And it's like, you didn't see I had to edit for 1,000 hours on this project. It's just the same with everything. People just see the wrestlers come out and do the techniques, but it's so much with you and this other wrestler, how y'all have to be in sync with, and people don't understand that aspect because I wasn't really into that world, but going and watching these guys train and the guy Brian, he's been training them and the technique side of it. I'm like, holy shit, wrestling is like way more technical than people just think, and that was like one of the main things that grasped me. And just like starting to learn the business side of wrestling from being around Mr. Jim Miller. I talked to him a lot, and Aaron Lester, I talked to him a lot, and just learning about the business of wrestling, man. And I'm like, man, wrestling is like a super big business, man, and it's great. It's not in the Black community as much no more, but there's still a lot of fans. A lot of people in the Black community was more wrestling fans 80s and early 90s. But by me doing this project, I'm bringing a lot of people from the Black community back into wrestling, which is great, but it's a lot, learning the business. Like I said, I eventually would like to do some wrestling matches, just on a small scale, just to have something under my belt to do. And it's a lot even pulling the matches off. Wrestling's a very, very tricky business. It's like, you got to know the demographics. You got to know what wrestlers, you got to, pair people, the right people together. It's a great industry though, to me, especially like, on the fan side of it, because the fans buy that merchandise. And I went to the match when it was in Elizabeth, PA. I think it might have been IWC. They had a match out Elizabeth, PA, and Duke and Gannon wrestled, but I got there too late. And but they did an intermission, and they had about like 50 or 60 people in line. It was only like a 15-minute intermission, and I'm like, man, like these fans are really supportive in wrestling, Like, you go to a football game, it's like, oh, everybody's there, oh, yeah, just screaming, drinking beer. But these fans are like really buying these wrestler stuff, and these guys are not even like, they scaled up a lot, but they're not like in WWE or the top league. They've wrestled in it, but I'm like, the fans love these wrestlers, and just seeing that like gives me hope. With my project I'm doing. I feel like we get a core fan base with it. I think a lot of people will love it, and everybody wants to laugh. I want to have the real wrestling, but have the laughter aspect to it too. Because I was like, I don't want to do nothing super duper. I want it to be serious, certain aspects of it, but I don't want it to be so serious to where certain people was like, I can't feel this. It might not be appeal to everybody.
Oh, we got sounds like the little producers are waking up over there. So, so Blam Wrestling, check it out. It's on Indiegogo, and it sounds like you've had a pretty cool wrestling journey with this so far. So
yeah, it's been great.
So there's you're gonna have some cameos. So there he is.
He's saying Luca's off. Luca went off. Okay, I'll come turn it on. Go ahead. Here I come.
All right.
Here I come.
You say Luca? Luca on Disney Plus?
Yeah, Luca.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah,
that's a great flick.
Yeah. As it comes on, a little bop, boop, bop, boop, boop, boop. He goes crazy. He does his little dance to it.
That's great. Well, thank you for joining us. Obviously, it looks like you got your hands full over there, so we'll let you go here for the evening. But I'm so glad that you got to. I'm so glad you got to be on here and tell us about your project. That helps people. Hope the Mayhemers out there will support this. Oh, here he comes again.
Okay, you told me Luca's off, man. Okay, let me finish up. Okay, here I come. Go upstairs.
There he goes. But no, yeah, check it out. Blam Wrestling. You're on all the social medias. Check out the Indiegogo. Please support the show. You guys are doing this. You guys are doing this one way or another, right? So, but support the show.
Yeah.
And if the main event's involved in it, then it's going to be a good project. So
we're not tag team champs.
That's right. That's right. They should be everybody's tag team champs. Book more tag team wrestling, guys. So thank you so much for doing that, and we'll let you go so you can handle things there, Jay. Thank you so much for coming
All
on.
right, thanks, George.
All
Take
right.
it easy, man.
Take it
All right.
easy. Well, you know what? He needs to settle them kids down other than get Luca back on that television. Some Slice on Broadway. Soothe them to sleep with some pepperoni. I don't know if that's a proper tagline, but that you guys can have that slice. New York City style. Yins are made. Our friends at Beachview,
That
Carnegie,
works.
the East End, and the North Hills. Go check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com. And support them. And I know a lot of you guys are in the Pittsburgh area, and as always, please support local independent pizza shops, just as we ask you to support your local independent professional wrestling. We'll be right back after these notes with some more wrestling chat with our Mayhemers.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I...
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
legendary podcast.
Shout out to Grind TV Network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
So what you saying?
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
We are back. We were just talking off air about the New Japan AEW crossover pay-per-view and what is that going to be. You know what we got to be getting, because the challenge is already out there. We got to be getting Kenta. We got to be getting Kenta and Punk, right? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I mean, right?
Yeah, they've been hinting at it for like years now.
Yes.
Even before he came back.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, come on. I don't even know where you would start beyond that. Can we get Omega and Okada again? Maybe, if he's healed. I don't know. What? You all right?
Oh no, I'm thinking of the Golden Lovers. I got sad.
Oh, we unite the Golden Lovers, perhaps.
Give me Evil versus Sting. Like, I don't give a shit. Just give me, like, fuck. There's many possibilities to go with.
Give me. Oh, damn it! Who's the one? Oh no, who's the one that I love? Give me Yano versus Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Yano versus Danhausen.
Yano versus Danhausen. Yes. Oh,
just saying.
Oh my.
Yano versus Danhausen.
Can we get a Great Muta appearance on this pay-per-view?
Wait. Is Yano in Chaos? I'm trying. Hold on. I gotta check my New Japan. Is he?
He's in Chaos.
So Yano is in the same faction as Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Wrestling is fun.
Wrestling is fun.
Wrestling is a lot of fun.
And you know what? If we're running back matches, like if we're doing matches that already happened, run back Yano versus Colt Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
Like that alone is entertaining anytime they're in the ring.
Can we do the Dark Order versus the Bullet Club? Like, can we?
Like, but which form of the Bullet Club?
Whoa! Wasn't that already kind of called out? Because Jay White talked about seeing Bullet Club and all the All Elites, right? I mean, that's. I think we've already kind of started setting up for that.
Like the wrestler Jay White, not the one we just had on.
Yes. The Switchblade Jay White. Just for anybody confused that isn't following those sides of things. Oh god, it's getting confusing. But anyways, I'm running down the roster, so I'm just still like, who's in Chaos right now? Oh my god, the historic the Wikipedia page for the Chaos faction is one of the most in-depth things I've ever seen on Wikipedia. This is look at this thing. Look at this
nothing.
Thing.
That's
really?
Nothing, Sorg.
Really?
Go check out the NWO.
Oh,
go check out their Wikipedia.
I'm gonna have to. Hold on. I'm gonna look up the NWO. All right. New World Order.
Everybody was in NWO.
By the way, Tina's calling out, and I should bring this up since I did film a Will Ospreay match this weekend. Y'all can't be sleeping on United Empire though. True. Yes. I don't even know where we would start with that. Because so that's Cobb and Ospreay. Like, who would you like to see Ospreay against in AEW? Where would you even start with that? Hook.
Let's just give Hook all the big matches.
Yeah. Hook versus Cobb. Let's make it happen, right?
There's possibilities for so much of that pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. Apparently, New World Order comes up with some. Oh, I'm
No, yeah.
no.
Not
This
the
is
other
NWO.
New World
this
Order.
is the logo. This is a logo generator apparently that I popped up into. So
Of course you did.
yeah, you know.
Oh,
Let's see.
Mayhem New World
Let's
Order
see.
logo coming.
Conspiracy theory, politics. No. Foreign affairs. No.
No.
Let me just add.
I mean,
New
I
World
mean, if
Order. Hulk
if you
Hogan.
want, yeah, I was gonna say if you want to talk about foreign affairs with the NWO, Hulk Hogan is the be all end all because he had the biggest contract for like overseas stuff.
Wait, what do you mean? For overseas?
For overseas, he got at least 25% of the pot
At WCW?
at every WCW event.
Really? I remember he did like that. What was it? An Australian Hulkamania tour or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like
The one where he fought Ric Flair all the time.
yeah, you know. And I think they bled like every damn night. Let's see. I'm going through the NWO Wikipedia. Yeah, it's pretty in depth. It's pretty in depth. Yeah. Okay.
Just wait until you get to the list.
Okay. Well, we have the list. I didn't even get to the list on. I was just getting to the list
Oh,
on.
yeah.
on...
Wait. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up.
Where are we at?
List of right there. It's an entire section.
This is
it's a new.
Oh,
wiki.
it's a whole other thing. The main
new whole
article
other wiki.
list of New Japan members. Oh no, there's a chart.
There you go, Sword.
There's a
You got
chart.
charts.
What is all this? 2000.
Chart.
What? What?
Keep going.
Hold on. This
Wow.
is who's Tenzin, member of NWO Japan.
Tenzan. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Conan, Hurt Henning, Rick Rude, yada yada yada. The NWA Hollywood era. The Wolfpack, the NWO Elite. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Elite. I forgot that was a thing. The Black and White, the NWO 2000. Reformed under Bret Hart.
Oh,
jeez. With the brand using a silver and black logo with the catchphrase "The band is back together." And then there's a whole list of NWO under New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize like NWO Japan was like a functional thing.
I thought it was just a gimmick on WCW.
Also known as NWO Gundam and or NWO Typhoon. It was a heel faction under Chono, face faction under Muto.
NWO Gundam sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
doesn't it?
Just the imagine of a Gundam with NWO, like just the NWO logos splattered all over it.
That's it. We are Wrestling Mayhem Show Gundam.
Yeah, that's for their Japanese faction. We have franchises available. Good times at WrestlingMamShow.com. Let's see. Oh man, celebrity members: Kyle Petty.
Wow.
Of NASCAR fame. Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
Paul Gilmartin and Claude Mann of Dinner and a Movie.
TBS show.
Yes. Clash of the Champions. So, you know, TBS TNT, long-standing crossovers with their professional wrestling partners. So I don't feel like do you feel like there's another freaking rat hole. I don't remember like WWE being so deep tied with USA. Like they'll be in, hey, there's a promo for Up All Night. Stay tuned for Silk Stockings, as we joke about on Mondays, right? But there wasn't what?
There wasn't like a Ms. and Mrs.
No, there was not like there's not like a Ms. and Mrs. Like these guys are coming in and become part of the NWO for a night at Clash of the Champions. Like I feel like other than when they did the guest host era of Monday Night Raw, like, and even that wasn't always like USA people, right? Like they've been relatively independent.
Was some Dove Bret Hart WWE or was that WCW?
I feel like that was the WWE era.
That was WWF.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was WWF.
Yeah.
So there was WWF magazines with Bret Hart on the cover.
That's right.
Standing
He
in
was
front of
dressed
the
as a
thing.
cowboy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, that's right. He was dressed as a cowboy that one time.
Yeah,
but no,
yeah,
I like you said, I can't, like, the only thing I can remember is like that Bret Hart as in Lonesome Dove or like a guest spot on Baywatch or something. like just out of the blue.
But that's just kind of general, right? That was just general connecting, and that wasn't like a USA thing, like versus like USA does not appear on the turnbuckles of the company, right? Like TNT is on the turnbuckles, on all the signage, TBS on all the signage. I mean, to the extent, obviously, you go with the TNT and TBS championships, right? Like that's so. I had this thought of, AEW. There is a world where AEW may not be on Turner, TNT, TBS broadcasters like forever, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens to your TNT, TBS? I mean, I'm thinking long down the road. Obviously, they have a how many multi-year contracts, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. Who knows? There was just a merger, and that's what killed WCW.
Yeah, right.
Literally, here's some doomsdaying for you guys. Discovery is now the owners of all Warner properties.
Mm-hmm.
Like AT&T was the mastermind, the AOL, if you will, of AOL Time Warner that killed WCW, right? Again, posit the fact that WCW was not killed for being a shitty company. WCW was killed by executives that no longer wanted to do wrestling. WCW was still getting top ratings despite the shit show they were running in fans' eyes. Okay? Let's set that ground rule.
Correct.
Somebody from Discovery within the next several weeks could very well say, we don't want pro wrestling. They'd be insane since it's the hottest damn thing, and live television on your cable is the most important and valuable thing to anybody right now and is in a Netflix, Disney Plus world. But that doesn't mean it needs to make sense.
Mm-hmm. But to prove your point, Discovery can, or somebody over at Warner can say that. HBO Max will jump all over that.
No. But I'm saying, like,
and they will change that belt.
But
HBO
Discovery
Max belt.
So is it Discovery up here saying it, which means they've nixed the entire thing, or they want to do something insane like move the entire thing to HBO Max because it's so successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I think your case in point, not to get into all the other sides of it, Disney Plus, or not Disney Plus, CNN, everything's a fucking plus these days. It's driving me insane.
By the way, rip in peace, CNN Plus.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. By the way, stay tuned for Wrestling Mayhem Show Plus coming to an app store near you. Anyways, what would WMS Plus
that's a
be?
new tier on gold.
That's a new tier on gold is Mayhem Show Plus. But I mean, okay, so if you guys don't, this is more of a tech story mostly. So CNN Plus launched like 6 weeks ago. It's like their equivalent of what Fox Nation is for Fox News, right? It's like, I really, really want to see so much more about Anderson Cooper. I don't know. So, and specials and news, and I think they got Chris Cuomo back, whatever. Not getting into that news. And as soon as the Discovery deal closed, they said, we're done. You're fired. Mm-hmm. Chris Wallace left his job for this, and he now doesn't have a show. I'm sure he'll put on something on CNN. But still, because Discovery already could not tell them, do not do this, we will not follow through with it, because they were in the process of buying, and that would be fairly illegal. But that's the kind of hard line. No, this doesn't work. But this is not in our grand scheme of things, right? This is not the Discovery Plus way, if you will. I mean, weird stuff was happening when AT&T bought HBO. That's when the HBO Max thing happened. Everybody's like, "What the hell are we doing?" Why are we lowering the stock of the HBO brand by throwing Friends on here? All respect to Friends and fans of Friends. Central perk for life, yo. But anyways, so I'm just saying somebody could have a wild hair to say, I don't like professional wrestling on my network that I own or run. And it does not have to be based in facts or money or anything. You know what I mean?
But the difference between what happened with WCW and the hypothetical that could possibly happen with AEW is the factor of social media.
Okay. It is a different world. It is a different world, right?
Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody can get on their camera and say that sucked, or that why is it gone? Why is this thing that we love gone? Or they can tear down a net just like that. Look what we did. Look what fans did to Sonic. I will never not trust. I would never out the power of the internet comes to things like this. It can mold something into going into another aspect, another realm. If there's a whiff of Warner doing or Turner doing this or Warner doing this, whatever. They're fans that are passionate about wrestling. They're going to get on Twitter or Facebook or the new platform that's going to come out whenever this does happen, and change it. Like it's not going to be as cut and dry as I hate this. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a lot of moving if you just say the words, no more wrestling.
Yep. And what also is it, I would, you're right. But I fear there's going to be somebody who's just not even so one thing that happens, and I've seen a lot of stories of this I've been reading about lately about like, hey, what happened in the third Amazing Spider-Man? Hey, what happened to this? Hey, what happened to this movie that didn't happen? Like the Superman Nick Cage thing. And a lot of times that happens in the movie studio is, hey, we were on track to do this movie, and then somebody else took over as the CEO, and because it wasn't their project, they didn't care about it anymore, and it got shelved, right? I am literally looking at headlines about the, as what happens in every merger about, I believe, I don't know if I did this on podcast or something, talking about the guy that was on True TV and knew that his show was going away just because after merging with, True TV merged in with WarnerMedia. So there are layoffs across the board everywhere in all WarnerMedia, everything from probably DC to TNT to CNN right now, right? Well, obviously CNN with CNN Plus. What if those people in place at TNT that have such a great relationship with AEW and making all the great things turn there, what if they're the ones that got fired? These are the kinds of scenarios I'm overthinking. I'm doomsdaying right now. Like, I am.
You better knock on some wood.
Yeah,
I'm knocking on all this custom wood ATEM thing.
Come back to Pittsburgh and is gone from television. We're gonna come back here. Wrestling Mayhem Show 811. Sorg called it.
Sorg is your fucking wrestling Nostradamus.
Sorgstradamus.
Sorgstradamus. There you go. There you go.
But if anything, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen for years.
You know what? No. If it happens, it's going to happen quick.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If it happens, it's going to happen within the next year, if not 3 months.
It's not going to happen.
I feel like, listen, everything is purely speculative for me right now, and doomsdaying and possibilities and everything like that. And this is my wild. Listen, I've been eating a lot of weed lately, and that's just where I'm at.
You ingested the marijuana, Sorg.
It's still to 8, but it's still got me going.
Mm-hmm.
And mark my words on this.
Okay.
You will see. I believe you will see. And maybe this is already in the works because of Ring of Honor. I think you will see a seismic shift, positive or negative, in AEW and their programming relationship with WarnerMedia within the next, I'll say 6 months. I'm feeling 3, but I'm going to say 6 months to be safe.
6 to 8.
6 to 8? What are you doing? Well, you want me to go? You want me to go full term? You want to go 9 months with this prediction, baby?
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. You're going 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
So, because Tony's probably having some meetings right now with the new guard, and about this is what we've been doing. Because I mean, you remember the Bobs from Office Space? That's what's happening, right? Like everybody is having meetings with the Bobs. Okay, Tony Khan's having a meeting with the Bobs. Superman's having a meeting with the Bobs. I can't remember any more Poppers. Harry Potter's no wait, who's on Harry? Yeah, no, Harry Potter's having a meeting with the Bobs. Okay. I can't remember who owns what anymore. I don't know. It is like, as somebody pointed out, there's only like 4 conglomerates right now.
Bugs Bunny is having a meeting with the Bobs.
Bugs Bunny is having a meeting with the Bobs. Pepe Le Pew, he's already been fired because he was a fucking problem 2 years ago. So we've already squashed that bug. But anyways, Ryan, thank you, Tina. Adam Ruins Everything was the show I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a TikTok I listened to about how like he saw everybody in the office already being let go, treated his season finale as a series finale, and when they told him 2 months later that they weren't renewing his show, he's like, I know, thank you. So because that's how this shit works in this business, you know. So kind of an idea. Why the fuck does WWE act the way it was? Because they're not a wrestling business. They're a corporate entity. They're an entertainment company. They're Warner Brothers. No, they're not even Warner Brothers. They're DC before they got bought by Warner Brothers. Okay.
They're the sister dot.
What's that?
You said the Warner Brothers. I said they're the sister dot.
The Warner Brothers are sitting down with the Bobs right now. Okay.
Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
Yes.
Pinky and the Brain are sitting
and
with the Bobs.
even Dr. Sniffles or whatever his name was.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? Ralph at the gate. Ralph in the gate's really worried about his job.
Dude, Hello Nurse has no problem.
Hello Nurse is in.
Hello Nurse has a job. Like,
Hello Nurse is going to get a Discovery Plus show. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck is on Discovery Plus. I guess
I'm worried about Pinky and the Brain right now.
That's
what are
right.
they gonna do?
That's right. That's right.
One was a genius. The other one was insane. Like, are they going to have a job?
Are they going to do Disney Plus special? I don't know.
They have their own show on Hulu.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Wait, do they have a new show or is it the old one?
Oh, just Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah, which is very Pinky and the Brain heavy. So,
yes, it is.
And that show, what they talked about what happened to the Good Feathers, that got weird. That got real strange.
Yeah.
Animaniacs went some places. But
they geared that toward us.
Yes.
And they're like, how weird can we make this? And we're like, oh, okay. I guess.
Anyways, hello, Bob. Oh, jeez. There's been no Hello Nurse in that new one, huh? They definitely updated a little bit. They're like, can't do that anymore. Can't do that. That's changed since the 90s. Yes. AEW. So I don't know. Potter's calling out for AEW pay-per-view on Discovery Plus for an upcharge.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Does Showtime do that? Does Showtime do that with boxing now? Actually,
yeah, I think
we know
boxing,
ESPN does that with UFC,
Yeah.
right? Like you gotta pay for ESPN Plus and then pay for the pay-per-view. So it's kind of like I think Discovery or Disney Plus, and then you pay for Black Widow $30. You know what I mean? It's kind of that situation.
Or just think about it like buying for Peacock or paying for Peacock and still shelling out money for the WB pay-per-view because that's the only thing that's live. Well, one of the only things.
Wait,
live.
what? No,
I'm surprised they don't do that.
Well, but I think it's a different model.
Actually, I lied because I think they do have soccer on there. Now they mention it.
They do have
the
soccer.
Olympics.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, WWE. Here's the thing: WWE has been commoditized.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Let's
Peacock.
not give them any ideas.
Yeah, like yes, they can count all these numbers because they don't need to advertise it. Every Comcast user has WrestleMania access on their cable box. Think about that. It's like, of course, everybody's watching it. It's the default. It's the Internet Explorer on your computer for half of America. Is the wrestling? Which wrestling you watch? The one that's there.
Yeah, it's on. It's
All
on
right.
TV.
All
It's
right.
America Online, goddammit.
It's America Online.
Do you hear the dial-up right now? Do you hear it in your head?
I'm just remembering all the discs I had, and I started pasting them to the walls and the ceiling. So I had like a mirrored ceiling, and then they fall on us in the middle of the night. Ask Missy about it. All right. We've we rat-holed that for a while. How the fuck did we get here? Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? Who would like to go first? Chat room, I especially want to know what you learned from wrestling this week. I got all the chat rooms up. Sorry, I'm reading that message. Somebody's talking to us over on YouTube. Nope, that's just Kali faces over there on Twitch. Okay.
Just me. It's
yes,
just me.
yes. Tina learns, it's great to see friends through wrestling branch out and get great opportunities. Yay, Sorg. Oh, thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. Yes, I'll be up there with Defy Wrestling, working with the Rich. I the great Rich Bikini, and I don't think it's a surprise. Well, I'm not going to say who the other commentator guy is because I don't know if that's publicly announced. I don't know if that's a thing, so I'm not going to say anything. Here, let me read you the truck sheet. No. Damn it.
That's a Patreon announcement.
I almost lost the job before I had it. So, no, yeah, I'm flying out there this Friday, and I'm looking forward to see how the West Coast does it. The technology meeting I had last night was very intriguing, and I'm looking forward to play with a lot of toys that they have out there. So, but I'll be out there Friday. And I don't know if I'll have time for it. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'm working Friday is where I'm at. I mean, I will be around. So, I'm hoping.
You'll go see the Space Needle?
I don't think I'm hoping I have a chance to if nothing's going on Friday, I'm just like copping an Uber and going downtown and just be like, where if there's no other plans, just be like, where's that big globe thing that Amazon built that I keep hearing about and stuff like that. Honestly, I've always wanted to go like a long time. I'm a big Nirvana fan, and I've always wanted to go to Seattle for like this, not like to go see shows, but like I know there's like the NME, the music project thing that they have there that I've always wanted to see. I doubt I'll have an opportunity to on this trip, but
I feel like they have like a grunge museum because grunge came from Seattle.
You would think so. I mean, Sub Pop's from there. I'm sure there's something. I've seen all that stuff at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up here in Cleveland, thankfully. But I'm also coming back in Portland in about a year as well, so I might take a swing up to Seattle while I'm at it, while I'm there. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll be going to Seattle a lot this year. Who knows?
You'll find
Who
out
knows?
after
My schedule.
this Friday.
My schedule, while filling, is kind of a mystery after the end of June. So, but there's a lot of really interesting question marks popping up. So. Ronnie, I'm sorry, you were about to say something, I think.
Yeah, I learned from wrestling that Ali decided to stay with WWE.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. And I learned that the 2K22 pack that just came out is the Bonsai pack, which features like a whole bunch of bigger individuals. You got your Yokozuna, Umaga, Rikishi, Omos, and Casey Catanzaro.
You like kind of froze.
Casey Catanzaro.
Yeah.
Wow. So they were like
Casey Catanzaro. There's just
what do we have? They're like, so like, here's how this meeting at 2K went. Who we got left for the who we got left? Do we got another big one? No, they're on this pack here. Okay, this pack here. Who's left? Who's left? Well, we got this Casey over here. Isn't she like the really tiny one? Like, yes.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we'll change her name, and no one will know. Oh, you didn't know she has a name change?
Who's she now?
Already?
What is she now?
Oh, what was it?
Also, in my head, I think I'm confusing her with Tegan Knox.
It's like something Fire, I think. I forget what the actual name is.
Katana Chance?
Katana Chance, that's the name.
Wow, that's a hell of a name.
And they didn't update that for the game yet?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Damn. All
like
right.
I'm waiting for them to actually do a patch where they update names. Like Pete Dunne becomes Butch, and Casey becomes Katana, and Tommaso Ciampa just becomes Ciampa, and it's just
Whatever. That's just, and this is why I can't get into anybody, because I don't know what I'm supporting. So
I hope
see
every time she wins a match, they say Katana wins.
Rob says he may have more couches to crash in Seattle than in any other major city. Well, if things go sideways with my booking, I'll hit you up for a contact.
What is Rob doing in Seattle?
Yeah, what have you been to see? He was in the military, so I mean, I don't know. There is a secret past of Rob. I think none of us know.
Who did Rob ever beat?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was Afghanistan. I don't know.
That makes sense.
You know what I learned this week?
What's that?
That I forgot, but it was confirmed to me. And I think there's no problem revealing this because I'm not giving any information. I got a notification from TikTok. Apparently one of the times they finally tricked me into saying yes about sharing my contacts with them, which you shouldn't do in TikTok, by the way. It's a really bad idea. But I got a notification from TikTok that says, "Hey, your contact Elias is on TikTok." And I was like, "My contact? That's weird."
Oh, no.
And I clicked on it, and it's like, it's a verified account for Elias. And I looked in my phone, and I did a search, and I found Logan Shulo in my phone. So I still have, apparently, at least the phone number that he used to start his TikTok.
And now his younger brother's using it.
And is he using his TikTok? It was still said Elias on that thing.
I think, isn't his Twitter still Elias?
His Twitter, I think Ezekiel took over the Twitter, was what I saw, or maybe the Instagram as well.
This is not Elias or something like that.
Yeah, right. So, something like that. So, I will not text him because I will not bother Elias because he's, obviously still healing and supporting his brother. So, we'll just leave that where it is. But it was just an interesting discovery. So, and also, more press conferences in wrestling. Got to help produce the Frank the Clown segment at Warrior Wrestling. Great graphic work, obviously, by Brian at Gnarly Pop as well. Listen, Frank the Clown.
Are we turning? Are we becoming fans of Frank the Clown? I
can't say I'm a fan, but can I have an entertainment professional wrestling respect for the guy? I mean,
no.
I mean, he's as a rule very annoying. He did broke his arm during the show, thanks to Athena before winning that belt. At Warrior Wrestling, but he's man, that was a hell of a press conference. Listen, if you're going to tell me at an indie wrestling show we're going to have somebody put a podium in the ring and a bunch of guys asking questions, by the way, none of them are wearing sleeves. Somebody pointed that out. They're why do none of these reporters have sleeves? And
because wrestling,
and you're not going to lose the damn audience. Listen, Riz, as we said on Facebook this week, we've been doing this for a while, right? And, I mean, anytime you've had sort of a talk segment, in indie wrestling, how well does that usually go around here?
I mean,
usually
I've seen good talk segments on wrestling.
But it's usually you're losing the crowd. It takes too long. And trust me, this thing took too long. But it was not, it still was not, they didn't lose the crowd. I mean, the crowd wasn't happy, but the crowd was vocally not happy. And that's what's important in wrestling, right?
But that's the thing with people like Frank and people like The Miz and stuff like that. They can take those long promos, those long segments, because they know everybody fucking hates it. That's the thing.
Well, Rob was the man in the ring with the camera in front of Frank. And you can see this. I believe his clips popping up on his account, on Frank's account, and of course on the Fight pay-per-view for Warrior Wrestling. We'll have it eventually at IndyWrestling.us in several weeks. And Rob says Frank has a lot of ideas. He's enthusiastic. It's like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyways, that's that. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody on what we learned? I'm checking the chat room here. Riz, did you learn something? Did we talk about that?
I already learned.
You learned? Okay. Well,
I was gonna say I learned about the Kid Bandit's
Bandit
dads. Kid Bandit's new dad.
Damn it,
Sandman.
Kid Bandit. I can't keep Kid Bandit from my feed, and when I do, it's magic. It's magic.
I don't know how quickly they have gone from. I've never heard of them.
Rando jobber on AEW Dark to doing shit with Sandman and everything in between. Kid Bandit, they are a wonderful cosplaying, wrestling, apparently fucking kendo stick judo shit.
Also look at the entrance that they did for, I believe, DPW Forever.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Need to see that. So
yeah, I can't say nothing bad about them and what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I may not always understand it, but I support it.
Yes.
So, but no, it's great stuff. No, go follow Kid Bandit. Really good follow on your Twitter. It will lighten your Twitter a lot, for sure. So, with that, thank you everybody. Hey, thanks. And I also learned everybody should go over to Indiegogo, look up Blam Wrestling, follow all the Blam Wrestling social media. Thank you to our guest Jay White, not that one, with us this evening. Again, somebody else rediscovering the joy of wrestling, and I'm hoping he does great work with this project to keep that out to other people. So that's awesome. So go check out the Blam Wrestling thing. Contribute, please support the Mayhemers. Get them over the top on this thing so they can get this project together. And we'll see. What the fuck is Riz?
Why is it
Riz?
This?
Why did a crotch pop up? Why is your head in the middle of that guy's crotch? What's happening right now?
That happened. I wanted to get a picture of the character that I have on 2K22, which you can find on Riz Plays. But yeah, I don't know why that elongated picture didn't scrunch down into a better angle. But yeah,
I mean, I think it was funnier though.
It was funnier,
you know
but
what?
your head
Screw
was
it. I'll do it. It's
directly
fine.
in.
I'll do it.
Directly in the khakis.
So yeah,
directly in the
guy this guy right here. This guy is Danny Super Smooth.
You're pointing at his dick.
I know. His name Super Smooth. Just pointing it out there.
And that's why he's called Super Smooth.
Why are you pointing at his Super Smooth?
Stop pointing at his dick, bro.
I can't. It's like look. It's
will you
everywhere.
Will you invade away his dick right now? This is his dick.
Like this? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Is that what you want, internet?
No, you need more of a cupping motion, I think.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Right.
Hold on. Go back to him.
There you go.
Exactly where to cup.
There you go. Right there.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, that's enough. We'll leave you with that. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.